Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is ConflctNerd Callum here today, bringing you another episode of my Transport Fever Let's Play. Let's connect up the Grand Canyon. Let's just get straight back into it and continue from where we left off in the last episode. I'm going to put the game onto ×2, and I don't know why the yellow and green bus are using the same lanes, but they are for some reason. So at this stage, there's hardly any buses coming through, but it's great to see that 12 people are on that one bus. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a very good start, that's for sure. This bus station is going to get extremely busy over time, but I think it should support, and that's the reason I chose this. But it's good to see Boulder Willow Creek, that's up to a profit of 200,000 already. Frequency on all the buses I'm really happy about. The Boulder Jackson, the profit or loss, it's actually coming down, so it's getting closer to profit, which is good. And of course the Boulder Richardson we just assigned, so that will take a while. Right now it's at a 47,000 loss, but it is going to go up, but it should come back down. Anyway, so let's go ahead and close out of that, and we're going to go ahead and, funnily enough, go ahead and connect up to another town, but I don't know which town it is going to be. So we have the option of coming over the river here to Salt Creek, which has 70 people living in the town, which is actually, I think it's a really nice part, a really nice drive this actually. However, I think it might cost quite a bit to upgrade the roads. But it is just a really nice drive. You can just see the valley here. This is the reason I chose this map here, is because of this, you know, it's just so pretty. The water and just the landscape. Don't get me wrong, there could be a bit more detail, but for this game I know this is like the best it can produce. So it's just such a pretty map. Bottom line, it's such a pretty map. Anyway, so we could do, what was it, Salt Creek, sorry, or we can go, we have a choice. So this place here has 98 people, so what I'm thinking is we go ahead, although the Richardson bus isn't, that's the problem as well, all the buses are grouped together right now, which is really annoying, so over time they will spread out though. I think we might do a bus up to this town here, which I can't even pronounce. Tejada, that isn't that bad actually, Tejada. So I think we might connect up to Tejada. Now the road is really windy, but I don't think we're going to get a more direct road without building a really expensive tunnel, which at this stage we don't have the money for at all, so I think that's the best connection there. I feel we might at some point also try build a road from Willow Creek up to Castle Rock. If that's a possibility, we might build a road here from Tejada all the way over to Castle Rock as well, so definitely lots of infrastructure going to be happening, which should be good fun. So let's go ahead and build up to here. Now this town is actually, this is on top of the cliff, so it is flatter. It's not flat, but it is much flatter, and there's much more room to build, which is a good thing. The land really isn't flat at all, but there's so much more room to build, and that's the advantage of a place like this. So we're going to go ahead and build you a large bus station, because I think you're going to have a connection to Richardson, possibly Willow Creek, and eventually Castle Rock, just depending on how the road building goes over time. But let's go ahead and get this started. So, the ultimate question always is, where is this bus station going to go? Now, that would be good, but it costs way too much. I'm not justifying that expense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build you at the back there for 135k, then we're going to jump into here, grab a large city street, and okay, I saved a bit of money there, let's be honest, so happy with that. So that is the bus station put in, and Sphere of Influence is a good portion of the town anyway. We'll go ahead and we will put a bus stop in at the start of the town, put a bus stop in about there. And then going back down to Richardson, do we need to add any more bus stops? We could add another bus stop about there, to be fair. And then we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and create our fourth bus line. So Upper Richardson you start at, you then go to Green Street. You then come up the hill to Tejada, into Hickory Street, into Lower Tejada, then back to Hickory Street, back to Green Street, and back into the station. Nice and easy. Now we're going to go ahead and give you an orange colour, a ConflctNerd Dylan colour, and then we're going to go ahead and name you very quickly. So there we go, that is the, not the train, why did I put a T there? It should be a B. So the donation of a T to B at the start, a B stands for bus, a BC stands for a bus connect, which is like a city connect. Then we'll also have train, we'll have P for plane, we'll have... I don't know if we are going to do boats, not really thought about that yet, actually, it's not really come to mind. The reason, I mean, I think boats are really, really good for transporting goods around, but we don't have goods on this map. So, I mean, Redcliffe would be a great place to have a boat, right? But I don't know where it would connect to, because it could come all the way up to Jackson, that's a possibility. But I just don't know if that would be the best thing to do. So, we'll look into that at a later stage. I would like to build one boat. My aim is to build one plane route and one boat route, because we didn't get to do that in the last series. And we'll go from there, but that's going to be when we have money, which is going to be much further down the line anyway. So that was also our first bus, which isn't using Boulder, so we're going to have to go ahead and build another bus depot out here. So we're going to build it up in Tejada actually, because I reckon there's going to be quite a few new buses coming through Tejada in the future. So let's go ahead and build you there. Let's buy 6. No. Yeah, it's about the same. I'm just basing it on the distance. I think the distance from Richardson to Tejada is about the same as Tejada to Boulder. So I think 6 buses. We'll very quickly just buy 6. So that's all you guys bought, and you're going to then get put on the Richardson Tejada line. So off you guys go. And that should be good. So that is our... Geez, that's our 4th bus line now in action. So as you can see... The Jackson one is so close, Boulder Jackson is so close to profitability. That was our 2nd line, we built this line along here, which comes into this town here, and yes, as you can see here, they have built, and this town's grown quite a bit actually. There's also this street added on, there's some building going on up here, so I don't really know where the town's going to expand next, but it started off with about 51 to 54 people. As you can see, it's nearly at 100, so this town is definitely growing. Boulder's grown quite a bit as well, especially up this right side of the hill here, so that's nice to see. Don't know what's going on with the camera there, but 215 people, so it's near enough doubled in population. Willow Creek definitely is changed quite a bit too. That is, I can't remember its starting population, I think it was like 98, so that's definitely done well as well. So going forward, we just need to continue this, and it's definitely gonna... We're definitely going to see a pattern, and the pattern is the more transport connections and the better percentage specifically. So as you can see here for Richardson, it is 34%, it's mediocre. Then the better percentage, it's like how fast the town grows. So it will be good to have lots of connections going forward. Anyway, so the buses are coming down the hill for the first ever time, which is nice to see. You're going pretty fast, 38, 37, but you could go faster if we upgrade this road. So I want to end this episode, I want to go ahead and do some infrastructure projects. So you're going to be a medium country road from here on out for this section here, just so the buses again can go faster. It's costing a bit more to upgrade this road actually, but this road is much more windy, so but that's that done there, so that should be good. No one waiting at Tejada right now. What about Richardson? How's Richardson doing? So this bus station is, no one's waiting unfortunately, which is a real shame. But we're seeing people walking around the town, which is good. I can imagine people are mainly going to use the bus stops, not the actual bus station for this town. So there's 7 people waiting there all in all, and no one on the bus, which is a shame. Yeah, it will take some time, but it will get there, no worries at all. So the infrastructure projects I want to do is I want to connect up some towns. That's really what I want to do. So I think we want to try and connect up probably Tejada to Castle Rock, and then we're going to have a road from Willow Creek coming up the hill here to meet them. I think that's what we want to do. So let's go ahead and get started on that. One thing is, I do hate being ill and trying to record. You have to stop and wipe your nose all the time. You've probably noticed quite a lot of cuts in this. But anyway, aside from that, let's go ahead and get this started. So height map is going to be our biggest friend here. So in general, it is relatively flat actually. So we're going to start off with the construction. Now I know I need to do it in small segments. That's the first thing I need to do, in small segments. So what are we doing this in? Are we doing this in medium country roads? Yeah, that's good, that's good. So let's go ahead and just build you just in small segments, because that's cheapest. Now, stuff like this is going to be the difficulty here, is arching over this stuff. These sort of, I guess it's dry riverbeds is what they are, so going to build you to there. We might not get all this built today. But yeah, realistically a bridge is just going to have to happen there, unfortunately. So that is that. I think that's our first bridge that we've built so far in this series. So what we're going to do is we're just going to follow the contour lines, not strangely like that though. So you're going to curl around here, and then you're going to curl around, just following the contour lines, just so we don't have any more unexpected builds. And I don't know why it keeps doing that. But build you to there. Now Castle Rock, we're actually quite close to Castle Rock already actually. We'll definitely get all this built today. So we'll build you to about there. Then this is where the difficulty is going to start. This bit of hill here is going to cost quite a bit of money. Again though, if we break it down into little sections, we save quite a bit of money there. Another 28k there, and then hopefully we can just get a small connection there, and then get you two to connect. That bit there costs quite a bit, but it will do. So that is the connection there, which is good to see. It's a relatively straight road. I mean, it's got, I would say, the big bend here just after the bridge, but bar that, it's pretty straight, which I'm happy to see. But the real thing will be trying to get a connection from Willow Creek. This is the one which I really want to go ahead and engineer. So realistically it is going to be a tunnel. However, I don't want to spend 7 million on a tunnel, so we might be able to curl through the mountainside actually. That's maybe what I am thinking. So let me see where the hill is at its flattest. There's no real point where it's at its flattest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to help myself. I know, you know what, we'll start from this end. So we'll just start you curling up the hill like so. And what I'm thinking of doing is, yeah, it's about there, and then I'm going to maybe try and get you to... No, see, this is the problem. This is a large problem. 98k for that small turn. See, I don't mind spending a bit of money. Like, I don't mind spending that, because that tunnel and bridge is not that much. Right, that'll do, because I mean we were getting quoted 7 million, now we have spent a good 2 million on that, but that does now, shouldn't have built that bridge there to be fair actually, but that is now meaning that Willow Creek can connect up to Tejada and also Castle Rock, and it means Castle Rock can get added into the equation, and then eventually that can connect up to Silverton, so that's definitely laid the foundations for the next episode anyway. It's good to see Richardson finally getting much more use, even though there's 3 people there. I think there's people waiting at every single bus stop, which is great to see. So looking at our buses, we can see that, not bad. So Boulder Willow Creek is making well over $1 million. That's 3 of our buses into the profit. I don't expect the Jackson one to do it as well as the Boulder Creek one because it's got less buses, plus Jackson. We know Jackson is a smaller town, though as we do know it is growing as well, so I hope to see that maybe get up to about 500k. Now the Boulder Richardson line, I expect that to get to 500k as well, and then Richardson to Jeddah, probably about 500k as well, so it costs a lot to build these lines and buy all these buses, but you definitely get as good profit back, if not better, so we will have the money, but in this series there's going to be a lot of situations where I guess we're going to have to wait to have money. Like now we've spent, in this episode we've spent what, about 23 million or so, 22 million, 23 million, but now we don't have a lot of money to spend. Now the good thing is, we do need to go ahead and build what, 2 new bus, we'll probably build 1 this episode actually. I mean we've built the road, we've built the infrastructure's there which is good. We just need to go ahead and buy the buses, that's going to be the expensive thing, that is for sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build 1 more bus line this episode, and we're going to build it from Tejada to Willow Creek. Now the reason I'm doing this specific one is because you've basically got a loop now, so you've got a loop which goes from Boulder to Richardson to Tejada, god don't say that too quickly, up to Willow Creek, and eventually we'll link in Castle Rock and Silverton, maybe Thompson, because I'm pretty sure Thompson's a really big place actually, 146 people in the next episode, and we'll go from there. The advantages with Tejada to Willow Creek as well is that they've already actually got bus stations, so hopefully the spending will be at a minimum. But one thing we do need to go ahead and do is add in some bus stops, that's for sure. So we'll add a bus stop as you leave town here. Then as you come into Willow Creek, to be fair, I mean the bus station is at that end of town, but we'll have a bus stop there, and I built it. Did I build it at both sides? No, I don't think I did. There we go. Right, so that is that there. So let's go ahead and add in our final line of the day. So the new line goes from Willow Creek sidings up to Franklin Street, then goes through the tunnels, up the hill, along the roads, here to Sunset Street, into Tejada, back to Sunset Street, back to, what was this, Franklin Street, and then from there back into Willow Siding. So we're very quickly just going to go ahead and name this. Alright, so there we go. Again, I'm going to change the colour because we've already got a bus like that, so I think you're going to be the red line. So that is now 2 connections into Willow Creek, and that completes our circle. 2 connections into Tejada, 2 connections into Richardson, and what, 3 connections into this here? Yeah, I think there's 3 coming into here, including the Jackson one as well. So we just need to go ahead and assign some buses. Again, definitely a good idea going ahead and putting a road depot up here in Tejada, because I think this one will get a lot of use. So let's go ahead and think about this. I'm thinking 6, again, just looking at the distances between the towns. I would say Tejada, at the time you actually go all the way up to the tunnel and go through the tunnel, I would say it's maybe even longer distance than Boulder to Richardson or Richardson to Tejada, but we'll start it off with 6 and we can always add more. I would maybe say the optimal amount for this route will probably be 8, but we'll just see how things go. So let's very quickly buy 6 of these. So that costs us the bulk of our money, and that's the problem. Buses cost the most money, so let's go ahead and assign you to the Willow Creek Tejada line. So off you guys go. You guys will now roll out, and hopefully you'll start to space yourselves out over time. You guys are in the blue, which I really do like the blue actually. But it's all city buses so far, which is interesting. So you guys will get off to an interesting start, and hopefully over time you'll pick up. Again, you'll make that loss at the start, which is expected. But then in time, hopefully that'll be a really, really profitable route. We've got quite a lot of people waiting here actually. People waiting on every single bus, which is interesting. So that Jackson bus has 24 people on it, which is really nice to see. This bus here leaving has 13, so it's good to see we're into double digits on most of the buses. There's 20 people waiting here to go to Willow Creek, and there's 20 coming in as well, so they maybe want to go on to other destinations. You have 6 on you, you have 29 on you, so we might need to go ahead and add in more buses to Jackson actually, because that seems to be doing extremely well. But what I think we need to do at this stage is just let the game run for a bit. That's really what I think we need to do. So leaving, you have 20 people going back up to Willow Creek, which is good to see, and I really reckon that's going to be, because it was our first route, it's probably going to be one of our most profitable. To Jackson, yeah, we've got 22 on that, and then going to Richardson, we've got 12, that's a newer route, so that's kind of expected. Plenty of people waiting at the bus stops though in town, as you can see. A lot of these people want to go up to Willow Creek, so you've got 28 passengers on you now, which is probably the most we've seen. Jackson is just expanding. It looks like it's expanding out along here, so, you know, maybe in 2 or 3 episodes time we could see Jackson near enough connecting up with Boulder. That would be interesting. It's just where Jackson is located, I guess. But you're now up to 164 people, and it's got excellent transport connections. Now the reason for that is literally because there is just one street. We could possibly make that 100% by adding a bus stop up this end maybe in the future, but we'll just have to wait and see. So before we wrap up this episode, let's just go ahead and look at all the profit margins and see how we're doing. So the latest 2 buses, which both go in through Tejada, they're making a loss, which is totally understandable. But the 3 buses that come via Boulder, they are making a profit. And quite some profit at that, to be honest actually. So the Boulder Jackson that's making 272k, I'd like to see that push up to maybe 500k if it can, but again I'm thinking about adding buses onto that, because the frequencies are good to start with, but ideally we probably want to get that down to about 60 seconds going forwards. Definitely over time, once the Willow Creek Tejada bus gets into a bit of profit, then we'll add more buses, because 3 minutes just isn't good enough. Overall, we could add buses onto all those lines, saying that the frequency has just dropped down quite a bit, but the Boulder to Willow Creek is making 1.34 million, so that is great to see, and that's probably going to continue to go up as well. Same with the Boulder Jackson and Boulder Richardson as well, and we just need to wait on the other 2 buses getting into profits. So it's now 1996, so we have played, what, 6 years on this already actually, which is quite amazing. Now the problem is, as I said, I really sort of need to wait now for money to come in, so I'm going to have to let the game run for about 3 years or so, just so we can build up some money, so we can do some more building. Don't get me wrong, we can do a fair bit of building, but unless we take out a loan, which I'm kind of half thinking about taking out a loan anyway. I mean, we're already at 30 million, and the interest rates won't go up too much, I hope. So we'll see how things go going forward, but I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Transport Fever. This is a wonderful map. I've got a feeling this is going to be a wonderful series. Hopefully everything is going to continue going great, because this has been a really good start, definitely. Definitely think a better start than the last series. As we can see now, that is 4 out of 5 buses. I was about to say 3 there for some reason, but that's 4 out of 5 buses in the profits. Times are growing exceptionally well. Frequencies are good, profits are good. We're starting to earn some cash. I'm just consistently looking down in that bottom left-hand corner at that cash amount, and it's just, okay, it went down there, but in general it is going up continuously, which is great to see. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Transport Fever, the Grand Canyon. If you've got any comments, suggestions, tips, whatever, something you'd like to see me build, implement, get a mod, go ahead and leave that down in the comment section below. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode. Please leave a like rating, subscribe if you are new around here. Thanks very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd Callum, and I'm out.